Hi, friends. How are you? I know the last couple of days have been pretty exciting is the word I want to use. There's been a definite energy of like a go 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 energy. I've been talking to a lot of people this week. It's been a very busy week. A lot of questions, concerns, changes, big changes coming up. This message, though, in particular, is for people who are looking at making some of those changes. So whether you are looking at starting a business, if you have lost a career, lost a business, and you're working through that transition, perhaps you still have a business, but you know that it's going to have to transition. You're going to have to adapt in some way. A lot of the people that I've been speaking with in that realm, and myself included, have been moving through this period of, I want to say confusion, perhaps, maybe even some low or high level feelings of depression, of apathy, of feeling like I know I need to make a change, but I don't really know what that change is. Or I don't know how to go about it. But more importantly, a lot of these people, myself included, are individuals who are full of ideas and are always on the go and ready to do the next thing. And the last month or even longer, a lot of us have been saying, I'm just not feeling it. The motivation isn't there. The energy isn't there. Is something wrong? Is this the end? Is this the end of my career? Have I peaked, etc. And this is what I've been feeling in the message that I've been sharing with others, but also just been receiving in my own meditation and spiritual practice, is that there are some of us who are supposed to be on the front lines of the fight right now in terms of tearing down the old system. But then there's also a group of us that, I've been calling us the cleanup crew, that we're not necessarily supposed to be on the front lines. It's not our job necessarily to be out there on the battlefield, exposing everything, right there in the fight right now, because we are meant to be quiet in this moment so that we can start to collect the bigger picture, to cultivate the ideas of how this new earth is going to come about. How are we going to change our societies, change our civilization, change the way that we do business, so that moving forward, we're doing it in a way that supports humanity, that is, grounded in really solid ethics, grounded in this place of love and healing and support and wholeness. And at the same time, as we're witnessing everything that's happening in the world, it's looking like we're going to see some potentially massive changes in our business systems, in our economic system, in our monetary systems. And so it's difficult on one hand to, start to build this new without knowing exactly how those elements are going to shake out. So, it's also important for us to take this step back now and to do that reflection when we look at, our education system, our business models, our healthcare systems, our finance systems. We look at all those things and to really recognize and reflect on what hasn't been working, what isn't serving us, what isn't, a truly fair and honorable way to support each other, to support the work that we're doing, to create and manifest in a beautiful way in this world. And recognize that if we're going to build something new, if this is our opportunity to create something truly great, we don't want to use those old templates. We don't want to use those old programs and models because they haven't really been working. And if we're not using those old templates, that means we're creating something entirely new. And so the process to do that is one where we do need to be quiet. And so we do need a group of people around the world that are taking this moment, whether it's been the last couple of months or the coming months, to sit back and say, I am going to create something new, or I am going to adapt what I've been doing it, but it means I'm doing it in a whole new way. And it means I can't rely on the templates of how we've done that before. There is no step-by-step process. I mean, in the past, if you wanted to create your own, business or ambassadorship, whatever you want to call it, branding, we'll say, there was some step-by-step guidance on that. People would say, you get your YouTube up, you build your brand, you get on social media, da. And it was a model that a lot of people followed. But I know in the last couple of years, there's been quite a few of us who have been, A, resistant to it, B, not resonating with it. And now we're seeing that it's really not a fruitful model, depending on your belief system. So if we're going to create something new and we're truly going to tap into what humanity has to offer, right? I'm not the only one who's been saying this is the time where we're going to see telepathy rise, because we do have a collective consciousness and we can connect through that collective, through the use of telepathy, through our dream state. And if we're going to truly do that now, we have to start figuring out what those new templates are. And maybe there's no templates at all, but we have to figure out, how are we as individuals going to do that? And how are we as a collective unified humanity going to go about and do that? So if you are feeling this sense of lull, this lack of motivation, here's what my message is to you. You are probably meant to be one of the founding leaders of this new earth. And you may be feeling some guilt about not being on the front lines right now as well. But don't allow that guilt to distract you from the work that you're meant to be doing right now. Take this time to do whatever you need to do to figure out the better way. And if you don't quite know the nitty-gritty right now, just start to think about, what am I most passionate about on like an industry level? Like, if this is my opportunity to do something entirely new for the world, and we're truly going to build a new earth, what sector do I want to be in? Do I want to be on the leading edge of natural healing and health? Do I want to be on the leading edge of a new education model? Do I want to be involved in building communities? Do I want to be involved in the new technology and energy systems that are coming out? Just start there. And that will help to guide you into whatever passionate path you are meant to take. So if it's education, for examples, notice what's not working, but don't dwell on it too long, because that system is falling. Instead, start to ask yourself the questions of, well, what's another way we could do it? What are some of our options? Because this is what we need to know right now. We need to see what our options are. And this isn't something that's going to come out of us by sitting in a room and thinking. The best ideas come when we're out in nature, when we're playing, when we're in community with one another, when we aren't forcing it. We need to open up our channels so that some of this divine knowledge, you could say, sacred knowledge, but also just our collective knowledge, because we are sharing so much in the collective field. But we need a few of us who are quiet enough, who are not distracted by doing or surviving, to be able to take that knowledge from the collective and anchor it here. Now is the time for us to start to anchor it here. It's time for us to start creating new. Okay? So if you are feeling that, there is no guilt. No guilt, my friends. You are on the path and you just keep going. Just keep going. And that going may mean, doing nothing, going and laying outside, sitting in the sun, playing. Mom life right here, I'm currently babysitting these two little girls, so that their caretakers can toboggan. And that may, in the old world, seem like a waste of time. But I know in the new world, the new earth, we'll say, that it's one of the most productive things we can do. So love to you all. If you're feeling a little down, reach out to me. Send me a message. Happy to respond. Take care.